I just found a old video from about 2020, and it speaks about the quantum holistic starter pack. This was a program that I made way back when, and I'm sitting here listening to myself talking about principles that I have just found a starting understanding of. It's really freaking fascinating to hear where I was back then and see and feel where I am right now. So I figured let's let's do a review. Let's do a react video of a conversation that I had with myself in 2020.
If you can recreate something measurably every time and get a predictable outcome, then odds are that you just found something. Like the laws of gravity. You can't come around the laws of gravity because it's there. It's going to be there no matter if you say it's there or not. Once you've figured out something or really proved something, it's there. This is the same thing. You just need to know the process and the mathematics, and just not even mathematics. You just need to know the basic concept, the basic principle of why it works. And then it will work. Because if you believe it, then it is. Yeah, I know that is a very lofty statement, but I went through my entire life being told what was real and what was not, what we could do and what we couldn't do, what was possible and what was impossible, what I was meant to do and what I was not meant to do. Now I know I was being taught by the thoughts of people who thought this was real, and their perspective kind of created my perspective until I saw that maybe I should just go on my own and take their knowledge and their insights and their teachings as one brick in my foundation instead of thank you for my foundation. You know, take every piece of information as a brick in your understanding of something and then just continue to learn to make your understanding rock solid so that you know, okay, yeah, there's no debating this. This is how it is because I have been there. I've experienced it, which is something that we're going to do in this starter pack. I'm going to actually make you experience this so that you know what I'm talking about, so that you are aware that you're just part of something infinitely big. And that infinitely big is you. And you are everyone and anything else.
Today, we could go into the discussion of a holon. A holon is a part of the whole, but it's also the whole. And it's like the ocean. You are a wave, but you're also with the wave in the ocean. There's a lot of things here that I see that over the years have received a different or clearer visual, I guess, of what I'm trying to explain here.
It's hard to explain. It's hard to make these thoughts come out in a understandable way because you understand it, but how can you articulate that which has been tried to be articulated since the dawn of time?
This is actually very, very true. Completely forgot about that. Because when you get into this and you start to see things happening in your life, then all of a sudden you get an experience that you haven't had before. Most often, not saying that it is like that for everyone, but with that new experience, if you feel connected to everything, and it is the first thing you know about this, there's no other people who have validated this. No other people have guaranteed or said their story and have it be similar to yours, like completely fresh, then it's hard to explain. Ram Dass, for those who've had the experience, no explanation is necessary. For those who have not, none is possible.
You know, that's where that's the problem we're facing. This has been tried to be explained forever. But now we're starting to get to a place where, okay, maybe, okay, quantum holistically, this is how it may be. And I'm just saying that this might be like, this is my way. this is how I live because this is how it changed everything in my life. So I have good associations with it. Because I've had good associations with it, I will continue to kind of follow that path. Although I'm not locked into that path because I want to know as much as I can to make a clear enough picture of what I know. Make sense? I'm sorry if your brain tries to figure out what I just said.
That's projecting right there. Back then, because this has happened a few times during these videos, and I wonder maybe that's why I didn't post them. I had a tendency of saying, "Yeah, sorry, that yeah, that is hard." Yeah, like assuming what you felt. A little tip there: I wouldn't do that. Don't assume what the viewer knows or do not know. But seriously, I did not realize that I had these thoughts in 2020. It's a very interesting ride to go through that thought process, remembering kind of where I was at this time. It's like when you're trying to remember something you didn't know, and or like trying to think back before you knew something, what it was like to not know it. It's kind of hard, but having these videos, these emotional anchors in time, I can go back to situations and thoughts, experiences, processes, situations where I was completely at the rock bottom and thoughts I had in that experience. It's very interesting, and I really highly recommend this because it's kind of like journaling. You're going back, reviewing your progress, and you're seeing that, holy crap, I have actually done way more than I thought I had. And that gives you a little boost.
I understand. It's enough. It's a lot. I understand that it is a lot. And
funny enough, me back then, I thought I had reached some point of a understanding of all of it, kind of. It's like I had begun to get the principle of it, trying to explain it, but I didn't know how much more there actually were. So it's very interesting. This guy had no idea what he was about to experience.
Some of these things I'm going to talk about is it's really hard to explain. It's like Ram Dass told us. It's like Ram Dass said. For those who's had the experience, no explanation is necessary. For those people who has not had the experience, no explanation is possible. I'm going to try to make this as possible or as tangible as possible. But it is a big subject that we're getting into, and it's not supposed to be easy. But know this. By starting, you've done enough. Simply by beginning this path, simply by doing a little bit. You don't have to know everything in a day. It is hard in the beginning to wrap your head around all this. But know that it will become easier. That is just how the human mind is. We are going to talk about learning how to learn, which actionable specific things that you can do in order to retain information better, in order to learn better, in order to memorize things better, and how to structure your thoughts when you're doing this. Because you need basically a filing system in your head in order to kind of make sense of all of this as we progress.
You don't really, but when I'm saying this, it's interesting. I'm talking about learning how to learn. And I think I just got into speed reading and memory palace and a lot of different techniques that I didn't know before. And I think it was kind of blowing my mind at the moment.
Because it's going to be a lot of information.
But yeah, not really though. That's one thing that I learned. It doesn't have to be a lot of information as long as it's the right situation or the right information. Sorry.
That information will be the foundation of the rest of your life if you relate to this. If you feel like you're getting some value out of this, This will make you change your life. It's insane. I cannot. Yeah. I can't explain enough how huge of an impact this has had on my life, on my family's life, on everyone around me. And we're going to get into that. So,
Did you see how there was not just happiness there?
reach out if you have any questions, because I imagine that there's going to be a lot. The more questions that you have that I can answer, the better it is for others to understand the same subject. So if you have questions about anything that I've said, ask them. I will create videos and try to really articulate this in a way that is understandable. And so we can learn together, basically, so that you can help others understand this better.
And also for me to learn it twice.
Thank you for being here.
There we are. That took a while. Yeah, that was interesting. I found a lot of these videos. A lot of videos from, well, starting from 2015. I found videos from 2015. My son was sitting with the keyboard. I've always, when I'm making videos, I've always been in the office, mostly. I haven't been a lot around and taking real footage out in the nature and stuff, but to see myself that long ago and see who I was back then compared to who I am right now. I know people who are exactly the same today as they were 20 years ago. And I was a bouncer at a pub, at several pubs, so I've seen this as a pattern. Where people come to the same pub every weekend and they talk about the same thing every weekend. And they're repeating every weekend. Every day of the week. They're calling it a life that they're complaining about. I think that scared me more than I thought, because now I'm in a place where I want to expand all the time. I can't stand the thought of a normal life where I have to follow this strict routine and do XYZ to be able to live and maintain a lifestyle that is often just influenced by my neighbors or other people in, mainstream advertising. And there's a lot. I was at the movies yesterday. I was seeing Bayana 2. Well done. And there was this commercial reel before the actual movie started. It lasted for 10 minutes, even more, because it was supposed to start at 5:30, but it didn't start until 5:40, and we had sat down at what 5:15. It was these constant commercials, and I was looking at what people are being affected by, what people are being shown. I don't see TV. Like, I don't watch it, and I rarely see a commercial. When I do, it's like seeing myself, the evolution that I've had. Seeing the old video where I had this amount of awareness of something compared to now is like the commercials. Back in the day, commercials were not like they are today. Back in the day, they were just specific. This is what you need. This is what we have, and then it kind of got into the whole creative selling and manipulating, almost. Not even almost, but many products started to go into the whole psychology of it all. And now, when you're seeing what buttons they're playing on, when you're seeing how they are creating these pattern interrupts that are just meant for you to feel bad enough to type the number on the screen. Yeah, it was intense. That was not the intention of this video, though. It was interesting to see myself from back then, and I'm gonna put these things, the relevant ones, after I've been editing a little bit, putting them into the mystery library. not even their mystery library. This is a legacy. The legacy library is composed of many things. It's composed of courses and videos and curated knowledge from a wide span of different topics and interests. In the beginning, it was supposed to be a mystery school because we had an affiliation with a mystery school. So it was supposed to be a library of esoteric knowledge and a lot of different things. I didn't do much more with that because the association, the partnership didn't last. And because of respect, I didn't do anything more with that library. After that, though, I came into other communities that had other people with similar libraries. So I started to see, oh shit, there is a pattern here. There's a lot of similar books. So we have composed this library now, and we have a lot of information, videos, sound, just meditation, audio, books, and a bunch of things inside of that library. If you want to get access to that, go to the legacyforge.net/library and we will hook you up. With that, have a fantastic rest of your Black Friday. See you in the next one.